We are going to deepest, northest, westest Wales to meet Eddie Braben, because he was really the sort of third member, as it were, of Morecambe and Wise. He was the and of Morecambe and Wise. I always used to see his name on the credits, and I always used to think, who is this Eddie Braben who comes up with these amazing, brilliant ideas? I'm getting a bit... I might get a bit starstruck and get a bit weird. Right, I'm a bit nervous.
You finally made it!
I found you.
You rascal.
I found you. Hello.
Lovely to see you.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you so much for coming all this way to see a clapdown comedy writer.
Thank you so much for...
Oh, it's lovely.
It's amazing to meet you. I can't believe Eddie Braben's just hugged me.
You flatter me. You're very
No,
kind.
honestly.
You are very kind.
It's amazing.
People have said to me, "What? How did you do it? How did you make Eric and Ernie the way they were?" And there's one word that says it all: innocence.
Right.
There was innocence in everything they did. And I've
So
always
true.
believed in this make-believe world of Eric and Ernie. And it was why I never want them ever to go outside the studio. If you go outside, you break the spell.
Yes.
Outside is real.
That's so interesting you say that, because I suddenly realised, I was thinking, why did they bring me so much joy and escapism? And I wrote exactly that. It was because it wasn't reflecting anything about my life.
No.
It was a cocoon of joy, a completely other world. Hey! When you were writing the Morecambe Wise stuff, how did you know when it was funny?
Occasionally, you get an idea that is so good. You know, this is gold. This is going to work. Oggy, the ventriloquist doll, 10 feet tall.
Oh, yes.
And I knew, give Eric a doll that's 10 feet tall. You really didn't need dialogue.
I'll sit on that chair. Lovely. And let him lean on
And what made me laugh was whoever made the prop, I made it look like Ken Dodd.
Hey, wait a minute, he's getting a bit heavy for me. Hey, he is heavy, easy, I'm only... Okay.
Obviously, you love laughing, you bring joy, but did you have to sort of take time to recover? Were you very sort of sapped by it?
The real pressure came when I was sat in front of that typewriter with all those blank pages.
Yeah.
And there's a deadline, and there was nothing there. Nothing was happening. That's when you realise there were 20 million, 24 million,
Yeah.
25 million people looking over your shoulder or saying, "Make me laugh."
Did you ever want to jack it all in? Was it all too much? Did you
Every
ever...
day.
Oh.
Every day it was all too much. It was ridiculous because the Morecambe and Wise show became more important than Christmas.
Yeah.
And I thought, this isn't right. It shouldn't be like this.
Well, he's got the worst job in the world, hasn't he? He's got his own little house with his own little office, and he goes in there, let's say on a Monday morning, with a typewriter and a blank sheet of paper. And then he starts from there. And that's it, that's the hard bit.
That's what it's all about. That's where we would find it difficult.
He thinks of things that we think are very funny, and I only wish to God we could think of. But we can't.
My producers and my agent tell me off, because I always say in interviews, I hate writing, I hate it. And they say, you shouldn't do that, really. Because A, you're in a very privileged job.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid I just can't help myself because I do hate it so much.
Oh, so do I. I
Right.
did exactly that.
Right.
You can't put yourself through the agonies of producing day in, day out. And you have a standard. You have to keep to that standard. And you have people waiting.
Yeah.
And you're aware of this.
Yeah.
And you don't go, ho, ho, ho. You can't laugh at that.
No.
That's a fact. It's a hard fact.
Yeah.
It's cruel.
But you kept that to yourself, though.
Oh, yeah. I did.
When you got up in the morning to write, did you feel sick and dread at the thought? Did you?
Then I was smoking 40 cigarettes a day.
Gosh.
And the part I dreaded was going down to London, it's the Delgano Way, behind Wormwood Scrubs, to this centre, community centre.
Yeah.
The old folks are on the ground floor singing "I'll Be Your Sweetheart" and cruising down the river. And we're upstairs rehearsing. And I'd go there with the script, 3 copies, 1 for Eric, 1 for Ed, and 1 for Johnny Hammond. And they'd be sitting at this trestle table, and I'd be on the chair the other side. It was like being judged. I sat there and waited.
So they'd read it out in front of you for the first time?
And it'd be...
God.
Like that. And I'm thinking there'd be a phone call tonight from Johnny Hammond. Oh, hello, Eddie. The boys feel... Oh, God, I used to dread that. As soon as he said the boys feel, I knew the boys felt something wasn't working.
Begins to pace the room. Map.
Here, Prime Minister.
Pulls down on a roller fixed to the wall a world atlas.
What's that?
It's a map of the world.
Good Lord. For the past 6 months, I've been drying my hands on that.
Marvellous.
So you must now look back and go, it was worth the stress.
Yes, I do. I do. Although I did pay a price with health. It erupted years later.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. With me, it should have been say no. But I could never say no.